In this video, we're gonna learn how to use the built-in AI features from within Venngage to help us automatically create an accessible template or infographic. Welcome to the Accessibility Guide channel. My name is Sean Jordison, and let's jump into the ring. All right, I'm already signed into Venngage, and what we can do is choose something like document or maybe even an infographic, and it's gonna say create an infographic about what? Well, I want to create an infographic about the 8-step method for making PDFs accessible by the accessibility guide. Step 1 is to review the design. Step 2 is to tag the document, walk the tags. Step 3 is to walk the tags tree. Step 4 is to edit the tags. Step 5 is to correct the read order. Step 6 is to set the metadata. Step 7 is to run accessibility checkers. And step 8 is to test with assistive technology. Let's go ahead and select generate infographic. Perfect. Now it appears to give me some options. We have one right here. This is great. I like that it's simple. Let's go ahead and select customize, and that will pull it into the Venngage editor. Now from here, we can directly open up the built-in accessibility checker by selecting the file button and then choosing accessibility. And then there's an option here, check accessibility. This is probably one of my favorite features of Venngage. They have the built-in checker right within the platform. This is awesome that they have that. Let's go ahead and select check my design. And now we can run through all of the different areas to make it accessible. And it does appear that some of our content is failing our color contrast requirements. So this blue appears to be failing. Let's see about changing the color. I can change the font color right over here, and we can choose a darker color. And I already know this color is also going to be failing, so we're gonna make some of these changes. Now in my document, it doesn't really matter to me what the colors are of this information, so I can actually just change them all to the same color. Now, if I just click and drag my mouse across, I can go ahead and change the color to something darker. And I'm going to just do that across, and we're gonna choose the darker color so that it's all congruent. Now I also need to change the numbers for the failing colors, and we could just choose black for these. Now there's not really a fast way to do this that I'm aware of, and so I have to click each one of the colors to be able to update the color. All things considered, that's like a pretty easy to fix to implement here. So let's go ahead and change the color of these ones. I'm just gonna put them all in black so that they are consistent, and typically black will pass most color contrast checkers. Go black. Perfect. Now we can have it rescan. And in this example, the black on the purple is failing, so we'll change that one to white. So we'll have step 1 as white. Let's go ahead and rescan it. Now it's telling me we have small text sizes. So these are actually okay. I'm gonna select it, mark it as complete, because our font size is set to 14. So this is actually fine. We have alternate text needs review. We can say that we checked them already. Let's see if our text is set as a heading. So we have review the design carefully, and our text tag is currently set to a P tag. I'm gonna set it to an H2 tag. And then let's make sure our top level header is marked as an H1. Now it is. And if I hold my shift key, I can actually select multiple content types at once, but it doesn't appear I could actually set the tags that way. So it looks like we need to set the heading tags individually on each one of these. So I'm going to choose each one of my top level headings here and make it an H2 tag. So I'm just clicking back and forth, select the text, H2. But the fact that I can do this in the editor is amazing. And so if I came back through later on to test this, or if I wanted to make updates, it would be really easy for me to make updates to this text. So now that we've set the tags, I think the only other thing is the tag order, and that appears to be set already, except for our numbers are out of whack. So we need to move the numbers to the right spot. 3 will be walk the tags tree. 4 is edit and refine tags. 5 is correct the reading order. 6 is set accurate metadata. Now, this is like a lot of work, but I didn't create this using an accessible template. I instead used the DesignAI feature, which is really useful for getting some baseline content into our document. Let's go ahead and run step 7 and then step 8. So now our reading order is set properly. I think this document is good to go. Let's go ahead and download the final PDF and let's review it for accessibility. I'm going to open up this PDF in Adobe Acrobat, and it looks like I didn't set the reading order totally accurate, but it's pretty easy for me to update in Adobe Acrobat. And it does appear the rest of our content is edited and in the right order. So this is a great first start. We can then go ahead and run the built-in accessibility checker. Let's do prepare for accessibility, check for accessibility, hit start checking, and we have no errors in this document. Let's go ahead and run the Pack 2024 tool, and let's test this file in here. And it looks like we have one failure on color contrast, but it appears to be a phantom object, as I'm not seeing that. Oh, it's the white text. So this actually is passing color contrast requirements. We can confirm that with our color contrast analyzer. It's the number 1. That's what's coming up as a failure, but it actually passes. So our document is totally good. That concludes today's video on how to use the AI features built into Venngage. If you want to try out Venngage for yourself, check out the link in the description of this video. And as always, I could be your champion for inclusion. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.